Alright, welcome back to today's stream. Today we'll be going ahead and continuing in hard mode. The plan for today, is going to be to hopefully make some progress on quests, hopefully complete the last quest we have, with Ghost Hunter, or with just Blaze. I think, based on the amount of gems we have, we should be able to do this quest pretty easily. But then again, we only have like 36 crates. We'll have a little bit more once I get done with opening chests for today. But yeah, overall, I do think that we should probably be able to get it done today, especially since there is a 2x luck event going on right now, so that will actually help quite a bit in terms of actually getting stuff. In addition to that, I think I have a glitchy lucky gum or enchanted lucky gum that we'll go ahead and use. Should go ahead and make it a little bit easier. But yeah, that will be the plan. And then once we are done with that, since that shouldn't take any more than like 20 minutes, we're going to go ahead and move on to grinding some of the items that we're missing from the journal. Specifically, I am thinking we'll go ahead and grind some of Bloxbite HQ, or not Bloxbite HQ, some of the Great Guardian chest items, since those are pretty So yeah, this is the godly we're missing. We're going to hopefully get that today. These are all the quest items that we have. These are the boss chest items, which actually probably could make a decent stab at getting some of these at some point. And then these are the items I want to go ahead and go for. Specifically looking for that one, and the boards. It probably will take us like 20 keys to get a decent stab at it, so about 4 bosses with enchanted boss gum, which we have from Blue Bunny's quest. We also have this godly that we need from Remnant Keydrives. I don't think we're going to be going for that one anytime soon. And yeah, other than that though, not actually that much in terms of index. The big one that we have left is going to be unlockable boards. Specifically, the ones for currencies, so stuff like Ectobits, souls, bit tokens, all of those that we still somewhat need. We can probably actually grind for all of them except for the most expensive one on all of these. It'll just probably take us a couple hours off stream. Then we have the rebirth ones. But yeah, that will be the plan. So to start off with, I want to go ahead and use a enchanted gem gum on the all of the chests over here in Remnant Zone. So we'll go ahead and use that, and then we'll go ahead and unlock all of these once I get around this pillar, and go ahead and use these gems that we'll get from this on some map. We'll go ahead and use our teleports because I don't feel like navigating this area right now, so we'll make use of that. But yeah, the gems that we have from this, they will be around 800 million gems. That'll give us around 80 crates, along with 3 crate keys, which can be each counted as like 2.5. So around 87 crates, with 2x luck from the event and 3.75 times luck from, or 3.25 times luck. Whoa, where are my frame rates? From But yeah, about 3.25 from the Lucky Gum, for a total of a 4.25 multiplier. This should give us a pretty decent shot at getting all that stuff. But there is always the chance that we still don't get it. Although at this point, I think we've spent like 20 times more than what we should have for it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll also grab just a little bit more gems here. I would do have like 50 more million in terms of like Spade Harbinger bags, but I don't think I want to go ahead and open those quite yet. Anyways, I think now we should probably go ahead and clean up our pet inventory just a smidgen. Make sure that we don't have anything that I didn't want to delete. I have a feeling I just deleted something bad, but we'll never know. I think I'd kept my inventory pretty clean, so we don't need to worry about it. Yeah, I guess it was probably just stuff from last time when we were unboxing, because we have both our Ghostly Dutchmen, so we should be good. But yeah, we'll go ahead, equip our Enchanted Lucky Gum. We'll be going ahead and using this while we unbox for the best possible chance. And yeah, let me go ahead and open the auto clicker. Thank you. I love how it goes ahead and closes literally everything. You're doing great. Alright. Alright, so we have 83 crates to buy. We have, I think, auto-delete commons on. It shouldn't matter. We have all the commons at this point, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, we'll go ahead and buy, I think... we'll start with buying the, using crate keys. And then once we are done with all 3 crate keys, we'll go ahead and swap to using the gems with an auto clicker. And then once we are done with that, we'll be going ahead and... But yeah, I think we have around a 70 or 80% chance of actually getting the Godly with this amount of gems, so we should be getting it pretty shortly here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was worried that we'd go down to like the last few gems and we wouldn't actually get it this time, because that's happened a few other times. We are going to burn the rest of our gems just right now because we do have the Lucky Gum ongoing right now. We'll burn it on Pet Crate 15, just to know you get a few things. But yeah, that should be, I heard a ding. I hope that is a ding. Yeah, that was a ding. Do I have my, oh yeah, I do have my Godly unboxes off, so, we aren't going to see that, but, we do now have Blaze completed, which is our last quest. We do get a bit more pet storage, which should help quite a bit. And then now that we have that done, I think that should count for an additional game completion. I might only refresh when we rejoin or something like that. But I think how quests are, or how stuff is programmed, it'll count by as all quests as like a full percentage. So that little bit should count, but maybe not. But yeah, now that we have that quest done, you know, we do actually have a better pet that we can go ahead and equip, I think, since we no longer need that. The question I have for you guys is, are we allowed to use Ghostly Dutchmans yet, or do we need to wait until we actually finish up this, like, rebirth or whatever, stab at getting 100%, before we can go ahead and do that? Let's accept that. I think those are fine. Yeah. Also, Deadbolt, if someone wants a Starbeam and you want a Cosmic Beam, are you the shark? It depends. A lot of trading depends on, like, what actually goes on with the conversation before it, the social interaction. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want your Starbeam, and you ask for a Cosmic Wing, from them, you aren't necessarily sharking. Especially if they know values, you definitely aren't. If they don't know values, in some way, Cosmic Wing, they should probably understand that Cosmic Wing is worth more than Starbeam. So it's hard for them to perceive that as bad. Generally, sharking, I consider it when you offer someone else, like you walk up to someone like, hey, I'll trade you my Atom for your limited Reaper. Something like that, where you don't give values, you don't provide the backstory, and they don't know the values. But I could apply if someone's like, hey, I want your, that good pet, and you're like, oh, I'll take this from your inventory that's worth a lot more than they're thinking it is. It depends a lot on, like, who it is, how much they know about values, how much you give about values, a lot of that stuff. If you specifically say, while trading, that, hey, Cosmic Wing is probably worth quite a bit more, or Cosmic Wing is worth more than Starbeam, and they're like, yeah, no, that's fine, should be good. If you say something like, oh, Starbeam is worth more than Cosmic Wing, then that's a scam, and that is definitely bannable. But yeah, trading is one of those things where it's case by case, generally, for whether or not something's tolerable or not. Alright, now that we have that, I wanted to go do, grinding in Great Guardian fight, I think. Hey, I said multiple times that, I was getting the better deal. I think I've said this before, but yeah, if I do a trade, the only reason I am ever going to do a trade, the only reason most people would ever do a trade is if they're getting a win out of the trade. And if they're getting a win, you're getting a loss. So really, there's no reason to really do a trade if every time you just trade with someone, they are getting the win. There's obviously different ways to think about that. Like, for instance, technically speaking, you can give a loss trade if you value something more highly than other people. For instance, if you like egg drop, for instance, and you're willing to overpay for it, even if it isn't worth that amount, it can still be a win for you in your opinion, and a win for them in their opinion. But yeah, for most of the time, it is a weird thing. Yeah, if you do trading, one of the things why I really don't do trading anymore is I can't really scam. I don't like to scam people. I don't like to take advantage of trades. So I generally don't trade. Because if I do a trade, I don't want to be scamming them. So I will be either taking an L with the trade, or I wouldn't do the trade in the first place. And if I'm taking an L with every single trade I do, I don't want to be trading. In that situation, really the only reason I would want to trade is if I'm going through something different, like, I don't know, trading something like sandstorms for rift gums, or something where it's moderately similar value, at the time at least, back when rift gum was useless. It's not super useless anymore, it's probably still worth less, but whatever. Anyways, I did want to go head over to Ghost World really quick. I'm just double checking that I don't have anything like amazing in my inventory. That I want to focus on first. Yes, Roblox. Yeah, no, that is just Roblox. Okay. I guess we just wait here until Roblox decides to figure out whether or not it's crashing or not. which it probably is knowing Roblox. I guess we might be able to buffer a teleport. Yeah, because I can see the stream still working fine. It is literally just my Roblox internet. Alright, I give up. We're not waiting for this. Yeah, that's honestly what it ends up being when it comes to trading. You kind of just either have to overpay for everything or not trade. It's kind of the cons of having a small economy. Back when the game like first started in 2019, 2020, or 2020, trading, you were fine trading whatever for whatever. It was such a large economy that there were so many random people that even if you sharked someone, it was literally no one cared. It was kind of praised in a sense because of how big the economy was. No one really noticed. It wasn't like you were affecting someone else that you knew. It was just someone random. You were gaining value, their fault for not knowing value or whatever. Nowadays it's definitely flipped quite a bit. I wanted to go to Ghost World. But yeah, it's definitely flipped a lot since then. A lot of it has to do with the size of the economy. More of it has to do with the maturity of the economy. As the economy matured, it definitely became less people didn't know values. The people who didn't know values were kind of like given more kindness or whatever. But yeah. Time to go back and try and trade Pug for any holo. People weren't quite doing that. I do know that when I was first playing, I did have a mini holo at one point. I traded, or I didn't actually trade for it. Someone traded a Scrooge for it from my inventory when I was letting them borrow it. I traded back for 3 Scrooges because stats, and it was actually, I think, decently value. I think right now, for whatever reason, Scrooge is... The value there is definitely shifted. One of the things about trading that is really weird in a small economy, you don't see this in like larger economies, but like if you have half of an item, let's say you have 100 of item A, let's call those purples, and like 50 of an item 2, which let's call that mini holo. So you'd expect, since there's 50 of one, 100 of the other, you'd expect it to be around roughly 2 of the purple for a holo or whatever. The actual fact of the matter is, because of hoarding, rarity value, people not wanting to trade some of those, what ends up happening, it's more like triple, quadruple the value. So you have to either trade 3 or 4 of the purple for a holo, despite it only being 2 times rarer. It's a system. But yeah, and so like Scrooge, even though it is pretty rare, it's nowhere near the it's nowhere near where Hollows is. Even, I mean, Hollows is quite a bit harder to get. It was like 3, 4, 5, probably, I don't know, it's maybe even up to 10 times harder to get, which effectively means it was like a 12 times, because there's also the option to purchase Scrooge. But yeah, it was weird to think about that. But it's worth so much more than that. It's like 20 or something stupid. Yeah, and then you have special stuff. Also, how you obtain stuff also matters on how valuable it is. For instance, gem ship. If you compare gem ship to the value of something like let's say what's a good comparison here? So, something, let's say I want to say something like jet or glow jet, but I don't think that's quite a fair comparison. Yeah, I don't know. But like if you have something that is available for anyone to go get, like gem ship is, yeah, you're literally spawning right on top of me. Thank you, Great Guardian. Yeah, I probably need to look into unlagifying these at some point, because this is horrible. Just choose some unlag gum. I wish. I literally ran straight into that. But yeah, for this we'll be going ahead and using enchanted boss gum. We have quite a bit that we got from Blue Bunny, and then using that we'll be able to get us quite a bit of Keydrives, which we should be able to get stuff. I think after every single boss we'll go ahead and use the 5 keys that we get, because there's no reason to really not see what we get, because we are just kind of looking for index stuff. So the sooner we get those index stuff, the more of this gum that we can save for other stuff that's actually, you know, worthwhile. But yeah. Oh, but back to what I was saying. Gem ship, like if you compare it to like other stuff, anything that's like obtainable by like the random Joes, like or random new player, is worth quite a bit less than like even if it's the same rarity as other stuff. If it is easy enough for a random person to obtain, it's worth less because you can you can find someone that doesn't know values that is willing to trade it away for pretty cheap. So stuff like gem ship, stuff like potentially even some of the race loot bags ish, but except you do need actually some skill on the races to get a top place for it. But yeah, so even though I have never unboxed a gem ship myself, it is not that valuable, despite it being like a pretty hard classified to actually go ahead and get. Because there's so many random people that each do a boss. Someone is bound to get it for pretty much free and then trade it off for some stat pet like an Atom or a mini dino or something like that, where it just kind of crashes the value of it. Also, yeah, I do really need to. I really do need to at some point. It's just one of those things. Mega bosses are super complicated. Like, even with the last update, I think we had 2 whole patch notes like dedicated to trying to fix a single thing in the final boss. Where I had accidentally removed its ability to actually take jetpacks and stuff away. So you guys can probably see how much of a mess it is to like mess with mega bosses. It's pretty difficult. I feel slightly targeted right now, but at least we have a decent amount of frames so that we can actually dodge this stuff. But yeah. Same thing with dev classifieds. It's there are people that have gotten it out of their first key. There's been people that have gotten it like 2 and 20 keys. There's a lot of random ones just chilling around out there. Alright, I think that's a new one, surprisingly, despite it being a rare, oh, I forgot to use I forgot to use boss gum. Anyways, we'll try to remember to use boss gum from now on. What's new? A lot. Depending on when you left, there's either new stuff in Remnant Zone, like a new Blue Bunny, which has a new perk. That's almost for sure. That was added like 3 months ago. There's probably there's a bit of new content for let's see, what is new? Main hub progression has been boosted quite a bit, so if you are new to the game, it's quite a bit faster to get into it. Boosted gums are quite a bit better. You can use up to 3 gums at a time now. 1 boosted, 1 normal, and then 1 cosmetic gum. Let's see, out. The one thing I hate is that when you right click on this mobile app or whatever, your mouse, instead of staying in the same spot you left it at, it'll actually just keep moving. So my mouse just teleports every single time I spin or whatever. It's one of the most obnoxious things on Roblox. Let's see, there's a lot of stuff. It's really hard to keep up with updates, to be honest, even when you're doing them. Gems got massively buffed in pretty much every area. You can use Rift Gum on stuff like gem chests and get quite a bit of gems. There might be a new class fight in pet crates. I have no idea, since that's been a while since that was added. Hey, you're supposed to stop your attack when you die. Yeah, it's just so funny. Roblox has so many random issues with all of their things. For instance, on their normal Roblox player, the one that you'd use when you are playing on like using like from like Google Chrome or any of the internet browsers, that one, every time you open it, or if you connect like a controller to it, it won't actually show the controller icon in the middle. So normally when you're playing on a controller, you have this little thing above your head that kind of shows where you're aiming, like this or whatever, or in first person in the middle of your screen. If you're playing on the Roblox player, it won't actually show that thing if you connect a controller to it, which is super weird. But if you do that on this one, it does. Just so many weird things with Roblox's different things. Yeah, the crosshair. But yeah. I'm not actually in charge of promoting testers. I can probably recommend people, but I don't want to. Because I feel like that's just going to get people begging me on stream for it, and I don't want people to beg me on stream for it because, yeah. Would you recommend me as a tester? Yes, Deadpool, I'd 100% recommend you as a tester. They should really hire you as a tester. You'd be great. Not every update has had a final bug. For instance, like the last 3 updates have been final bug free. That being said, Final Boss is buggy every single update because it has been since it came out, which I think is just due to how it's coded. I believe it could be fixed with like a lot of effort. It'd probably be a little less clean in terms of how it functions for like people actually high quality, but it would be quite a bit better for lower qualities. Actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if I ditch. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use Boss Gum right now so I don't forget about it. The benefits of doing Great Guardian like this is we also do get a bit of ectoplasm. The ectoplasm then we can go use to potentially buy some stuff like some, let's see, some boards, some more unlockable boards. All right, this cooldown is obnoxious. All right, there we go. I think that one's actually new is the funny thing about this. We're mainly looking for the legendaries and then the godly board. I think we've now gotten officially everything rare and below, along with the debug from our first one. So yeah, that was 3. We have 2 more. We can't quite get everything, so we'll need to do at least 1 more. Yeah, there's a bit of a social aspect to testing. You do need to be a decent person. There we go. We got the legendary pet. Now all we need is a legendary board and and the godly pet. We are up to 95% game completion, which is good. But yeah, if we go to our journal, we are making progress. Also, you can now switch journals without lagging every single time. But yeah, we have all the pets. I just added a little bit of a wait for when it loads stuff. It's not anything super amazing, but it does mean that there's no longer too much issues with that. But yeah, yeah, need the legendary and godly board. We also have bosses. Yeah, I guess another thing we can do is grinding like boss chests in main hub, looking for some of these pets from the pet. This is so weird to scroll with the delayed loading of pets. It's actually kind of weird to scroll it. Don't worry, it does make it a lot better. You don't now need to wait 5 years every time you open it to go see a page. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things where it isn't required to be perfectly nice, but like just don't being PG is one of the biggest things that you can do. If you aren't PG, you drop quite a bit. So swearing, non-PG references, a lot of stuff will really dock you on becoming a tester a lot. If you're mean to the occasional person, it's not fine, but it's a lot easier to. You're dead. Don't hit me when you're dead. But yeah, it's a lot easier to overlook some of that stuff, especially if it's very occasional. But yeah. Am I going grind for Final Guardian? No, we're not going grind for Mini Guardian. It doesn't count as game completion percent, and it wouldn't actually help us in terms of pet stats too much anymore. It would actually funny enough, we should probably equip these Dutchmans now that we are done with every single quest. Actually, are we missing any? Yeah, we're missing all of those pets, which we can't use anyways. So yeah, this is literally the only pet we're missing other than the mythicals from the index. Is this godly from Remnant Keydrives? The thing is, it's in a 5 key chest with a lot of other rare stuff. So it's about, we'd probably have to go, it's probably around 12% similar to the other ones, which is 9, I believe, crates that we need to unbox, so 45. So a lot of keys to just get a single godly. So I don't think it's worth our time for the game completion percent from it. But yeah. No, I'm not actually trading for stuff on this account. That's against the rules. It doesn't actually count for game completion, so I'm not worrying about it. It's not actually no, it is in there. But yeah. It's just a corrupted, not a mythical. Let's see. Why is it PG? Because there's people that play it that aren't, that are below 13. And also, some people don't like to see PG-13 plus stuff. Myself included. I do prefer to say perfectly PG. But yeah, also, it's a good, for, like, as a company, it's good to be PG. Like, if as Roblox itself, like, it's a PG game, because it does apply to everyone, it is pretty much everyone age, and so, keeping that reputation even outside is good for the company. Image, it's, oh, we forgot to use boss scum again. We're like a 33% use rate on boss scum. This is not the best. The thing is, it's still, we're still doing bosses. It's not that bad not to use a boss scum. Just give me the godly, no, okay. Whatever. But yeah, there's probably other reasons, like just, like personal preference of the, creators of the server. Like, for instance, my channel is PG because I want it to be PG. Same thing with Blocksite. The developers that created it wanted it to be PG, so it is PG. But yeah. The thing is, on my main account, I've already done Blocksite HQ unboxings that I've grinded for. I'm not going to be using my developer powers to just cheat on stuff. I like playing the game legitimately. I'm not going to be doing mass unboxings of stuff just because I'm a developer. I will grind for stuff like that legitimately. That being said, I might actually... I've been thinking about doing some grind streams on my main account. Maybe for something like crown keys, since boosted gum's gone buff, I've been thinking about just using like a boosted boss drop scum, like, I don't know, a few of those, buying them just straight up, and then grinding for crown keys for the either chroma float, another chroma float, or a cloud wave, or something like that, just kind of cool. We'll go ahead and see though. I'm gonna try to get another Poseidon. Lol, wish me luck. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get it. Like, Poseidon's pretty cheap. It's just going to be take just quite a bit more time than you're probably expecting. But yeah. No, I can't actually give myself 1,000,000 pugs because the game would crash if I did that. There are some things in Roblox, like, with how this stuff is handled in the game, that does kind of prevent you from doing 1,000,000 of an item to yourself. It would quite literally crash the you wouldn't be able to log in. It would crash Roblox. It would not be great. Yeah, with all the luck buffs now, Cloudwave is actually somewhat possible. Yeah, I mean, it is if you don't mind buying a boosted Lucky Gum, which isn't actually that great of value. If you're already using, like, Enchanted Lucky Gum. If you aren't using Enchanted Lucky Gum, it's great. Like, 3x for 300 Robux, not bad. But the way it combines with other gums, it only stacks additively, so it's not as overpowered as itself on its own. But yeah, I do kind of want to go try some crown key grinding just to kind of show how it is. Also, we're about to crash. I can tell you that right now. Roblox is deciding on whether or not it wants to crash. I have no idea why it does this. Yeah, we can turn off and on our internet. Off. On. Alright, Yeah, we're almost certainly disconnected again. Would it be better to use boosted Lucky Gum on its own or use it with enchanted Lucky Gum? It is, technically speaking, I mean, the same actually using it on its own and with enchanted. Yeah, Roblox, can you stop doing this? We're literally just grinding. Oh, and that's 4 or 3 bosses worth of ectoplasm just gone too. Okay, not too big of a deal. You don't get that much ectoplasm from bosses, but like, seriously, game. Like, it isn't even my PC. I can understand if it's my internet crashing. That is fine. It's Roblox disconnecting me. That's the issue here. It is so stupid sometimes. Like you guys could probably see when I turned off my internet, like, that just lags a little bit, and then, Roblox crashes in nothing. It is all Roblox. Anyways, let's just go rejoin. Technically speaking, it is the same. The analogy like I like to give is if you're unboxing for an hour, if you're unboxing for an hour and you normally get one classified, let's say that, if you're just using enchanted Lucky Gum that entire time, you're going to get 3.25 classifieds. If you're using just boosted Lucky Gum, you're going to get 3 classifieds. Because 3 times luck, 3.25 times luck. With how they add together, if you're using both enchanted and boosted Lucky Gum, you're going to get 5.25 times lucky classifieds, which is the rate. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. Also, let's do that really quick. All right, let's go back to this. Yeah, the funny thing is not even like their potato. They're pretty good for running this. It's just like, why are they disconnecting you? Who even knows? They probably don't. But yeah. Yeah, I'm noticing it happens a bit more when I'm using the Roblox player, or this Roblox thing, not the Roblox player. It might just be using this like if you swap to like the Roblox player if you're not. But I don't know. It's definitely Roblox being weird. Hello. But yeah, back to Lucky Gum. So when I was talking about Lucky Gum, so if you look at it, so you're either getting 1 base per hour, or if you're using it, you boosted, you're getting 3, or if you're using enchanted, you're getting 3.25, or altogether you're getting 5.25. If you actually do the math, it goes from 1 to, if you're using like, if you just swap your boosted, if you're going from nothing to just using boosted, you gain 2 classifieds per hour. If you go from enchanted Lucky Gum to enchanted and boosted, you gain 2 classifieds per hour. So overall, it's the same amount of new classifieds per hour, using enchanted with or without boosted. Same thing, or yeah, if using boosted with or without enchanted. So it doesn't actually matter whether you're using them together. The only thing it does is actually save you time. Because basically, if you spend 2 hours grinding and you have an hour of boosted gum and an hour of enchanted gum, you're going to get the same amount of classifieds if you grind for an hour with both and then an hour with nothing, as if you use an hour with boosted and then an hour with enchanted. So if you just use the hour of enchanted and boosted at the same time, that extra last hour you could just slice it off and not get 1 extra classified or whatever, and you'd only have spent half the time. I thought oh. No, I didn't actually fix that. I thought I fixed the remote teleport. No, I forgot I didn't actually turn off fast travel on those things. Yeah, it should also probably breaks when you click sell now too. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, just don't go clicking buttons, guys, in fights. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. It's there are bugs right now. Yeah, I noticed that I thought I was going to fix that in the last update, but I forgot about that. But yeah, I can see why that would happen. Yes, the auto shield blaster does work on the eyes in the final boss. It doesn't actually work on the final boss itself, just due to how it's worded. Also, this is just stupid. This third time this stream that we've been disconnected by Roblox. And you can tell it's disconnected by Roblox since the stream is still running perfectly fine. And yeah. Yeah, it works on the shield in the last phase, but, I mean, that's about it. It does kind of make it a little bit more interesting to have to click on it. I think I could go either way on that. For now, I'm just leaving it as is because that's easier for me to do. It does take work to patch stuff and add new features like that, so, it's better to just leave stuff as is without needing to worry about it. Yeah, we're just going to sit here until Roblox disconnects us, because I don't feel like, I just feel like complaining today and being petty. But yeah, literally just sitting here for 5 minutes because Roblox disconnected us. How great. Funny thing is, we don't even have any errors. It is literally all just Roblox not connecting us to a server. Oh, my internet connection's fine, thank you very much, Roblox. Why don't you check your internet connection? Also, this Roblox icon, apparently Roblox does not handle a bubbles icon. It's supposed to be a bubble, but apparently they just don't have a bubble support for the bubble emoji on their platform, so it's a Roblox icon. I cannot be bothered to change it at this point. All right, guys, how many Great Guardians do you guys think we'll get done today? This crashed before we end up leaving. or disconnecting or whatever. Hopefully we can get like 2 done and then actually get the legendary and godly we're missing. We're in the same server. Let's see how long it takes to disconnect this time. Yeah, I don't think we're getting negative. Like, we were already up to 0, so, But yeah, maybe we won't even get into it. Honestly, I'm just confused on why Roblox has that bad of server connection issues. But yeah, I have a fairly good understanding of why, like, there are so many issues with the, like, mega bosses. I was looking at it and I realized, like, there's this little bit of an issue where they're moving it on both the client and the server at the same time, which for clients is not great because every time something moves on the server, it in theory gets replicated to every single client. So if it's moving on both the server and the client, literally every single frame it moves, your client has to adjust for where it's moving on the server and then immediately snap it back to where it's moving on the client, which for low end of us, assuming is causing some lag. I don't know for certain that's actually an issue. For all I know, that could be actually perfectly fine and Roblox could handle that normally. But I would guess that that little desync causes quite a bit of the issues in the game. I have a feeling they're going, they are going to see the, okay. They are going to look at the feedback they got from the first hunt and look at it and be like, okay, people didn't like half the games because half the games didn't put in effort. They're going to look at that feedback and take that feedback and improve it. They aren't a terrible company. They can see community feedback and adjust for it. It's just sometimes, even I know this in like developing like Ghost Sim, sometimes you rush some stuff, like updates get rushed, and you don't have time to get feedback from people. You just think, okay, let's get this event out, and then you get the event out and then you see that, oh, people didn't like this and you have to make emergency changes. Or if you can't make emergency changes because it's all other people, you're going to have other issues. For instance, with the Easter event, right when it first came out, there was some lag, and that was because there wasn't enough testing, so emergency changes had to be done. Now imagine if instead of it being the community that's complaining, it was just I don't know, Roblox itself, or I don't know. Like I don't know. If it's something smaller where it was like, instead of I guess it was like, if it was me making a video. If I make a video and then Ghost Simulator change something halfway through or whatever, I wouldn't fix it in the video. The video is still going out. Even if, because this is a horrible analogy. I'm gonna drop that. That wasn't going anywhere. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, because it's like a subcontractor, there's a little bit of a less incentive to actually fix the issues after the thing goes out. Whereas if you're making it beforehand, it's a lot easier to be like, hey, make this change or we drop you, or something like that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use a boss gun. We're not going to forget that this time. But yeah. But yeah, especially right now with the current like economy, where you have like investors and investments, and like kind of companies' jobs, for instance, are to make money for the people that are investors to them. It does kind of cause this little bit of an issue, where it's about getting the next new thing. We got another debug. Cool, I guess. We don't actually need that. So, yeah, we're mainly looking for the legendary board and the godly pet. Funny enough, I have literally never unboxed a debug on my main account. I traded for the one I have in my index. Okay, we could technically get it this one and not have to do another boss. We can no longer get this one. We have to do another boss. I believe it gives 250. Alright. How many floxes are we up to? I feel like we've gotten like half of our stuff being floxes. Flux. We have gotten 5 of them. We have gotten how many sunrises? 2 sunrises. And we have gotten like 7 Hades. No, we've only gotten 3. We've gotten 1 golden. We have gotten 2 debugs. Yeah. You know, I don't even know. I don't know how bosses are programmed. There might be a little bit of a difference if you're playing with other people versus doing it solo. I don't actually know. I haven't looked into that code. It's not something like the rates for like dev classifieds, where I do know what the rates for dev classifieds are. I'm just not going to share that. No, I literally just don't know. It is perfectly possible that it is perfectly possible that it is hard-coded to be different numbers and just is 100 for Great Guardian and is 250 for Bow Boss. But yeah. Also, I can't remember. Are you guys fine with me now going ahead and using Ghostly Dutchman now that we have completed most of our pet, or all of our pet indexes except for Remnant Guardian? Well, and all the mythicals, but I mean, 100% the game, then you can. We aren't going to actually 100% this game. I guess we could in theory. Like, in theory, it's 15 rebirths. Then we do all this again with the quest. Cat loser. I'm gonna get grabbed for this. Next tag is probably just gonna instantly grab me. But yeah, I guess we could go 15 rebirths, grab a few, once we get those 15 rebirths, we could then go grab with those 15 rebirths, we could grab quite a few, tycoons, and then with those tycoons, we could actually make a reasonable stab at actually getting, all the currency boards. The issue would be then it comes down to, it would come down to the mythicals. We wouldn't be able to get all the mythicals because that is like 250 keys for mythical. Yeah, we're just gonna get hit. Please tank it. And that is even if we have like infinite and enchanted boss gum. That's still going to add up to 50 boss fights of Great Guard, or 100 boss fights of Great Guardian, 100 boss fights of Remnant Guardian, which each one, let's say, is like 7 minutes. That's actually only 20 hours of grinding. I mean, a little bit more. So, yeah, that's only like what, like 30 hours of grinding? I mean, that's 10 weeks. Yeah, that's fine. Hello, Ian. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use our boss gum now, so I don't forget it. Hopefully with this one, we get at least a legendary or godly. Alright, let's check. No. Nope. I like how big Hades looks. Like, compared to everything else, it just looks huge. Another Phlox. Yeah, I'm not joking. We are getting like half of Phloxes. Okay. Just give me a legendary or a godly and I will be happy. There we go. That's a legendary board. We have one more key. I don't think we're going to be getting the godly from this, but we will open it just in case. Yeah, it is probably based on contribution percentage, like how much you've been vacuuming versus shooting or whatever. Okay, now the real question is, do I care going for that last hoverboard? Probably not. It is going to be quite a bit of grinding. Most of that stuff's going to be worthless. Yeah. Should I go grinding for the this last board, or should I go do something else? Yeah, pull time. There we go. Paul, vote. In the meantime, I think I want to go grab some more ectoplasm, because I do kind of want to sell all this ectoplasm for all these ectoplasm for some souls, just to see where we get terms of grinding. Because I do want to eventually get one more soul board, one more ectobit board, one more remnant currency board, whatever. Just to have a few more of the unlockables. But yeah. Also, is it just me? Or is that pull color like extremely bad now? YouTube definitely changed it, and I do not like that color. Maybe it's just my screen. Like, it's a white now. It used to be like a gray or whatever. It's pretty ugly. Yeah, I'll let that go for a little bit. I want to give a little bit of time for people to vote. But yeah, whether or not we go spend a few more, actually we might swap to basic boss gum after this, because I kind of want to save my enchanted boss gum for a few other things when I want to feel lazier. And basic boss gum I have a lot of, so yeah, if we don't do that, I'm thinking we go do a few races. and see about getting a lot of race coins for trying to go for one of those the race legendary and godly, because those are something that we don't have yet. I'm thinking we're going to need somewhere around 500 or so race coins, which should take like, I think like something like 30 races to go ahead and get. Like if we're like specifically grinding coins, which isn't actually that bad. It used to take so much longer. But yeah, that'd be about 25 crates if we got 500 or so. But yeah, that's the option if we don't. But we can stay here grinding for this last godly if we want. I'll probably be using basic boss gum, just because I don't know. It's a lot easier to stomach using it. Yeah, okay. It's been 2 minutes. 5 votes. Most of you guys, it looks like, want it to be yes. I want to go continue grinding Great Guardian, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, okay. I think we'll go ahead and continue grinding. This will also give us a little bit more ectoplasm as we'll continue to do a few more bosses. We'll probably end up doing like 3, 4, 5 more bosses. Yeah, I don't know how many more we'll do. But I'll probably end up using like 3 or 4, 3 bosses per unbox from now on, just to save up a few more keys. Yeah, it's not that bad. We're literally grinding for 1 more goblin. It's probably, looking at other chests, it's probably like either a 5 or a 10% chance at getting it. So, probably the 5%. I don't exactly know with those chances, but so we might be here a while, but we are at least getting some Great Guardians done. We are going to get a little bit of ectoplasm for souls, but yeah. Max pet storage is 330 with all of the free-to-play stuff. That is doing Blaze for 125. Bovin for 100. Joven for 50, and then Reed for 25, for a grand total of 300 extra, and then 30 base. It is actually the exact same for boards, maximum of 400 with 300 from a similar layout. So overall, not too bad. It's definitely makes buying like a lot of the lower ones, like the plus 70 pet storage or plus 50 board storage game pass, a little less worthwhile. But some of the more expensive ones, like plus 500, for instance, like I would recommend buying plus 500 pet storage. I've actually bought it on 2 of my accounts at this point. It just helps quite a bit to have all that, a lot more pet storage. But yeah. Yeah, no, feel free to ask for links. Actually, next update. I haven't actually started working on next update, but it should be a next update's probably next update is smaller than this update. But unlike this update, it should be less work too. So it should be something that you guys like. I think most people, what's coming in the next update should be something that people like. It's probably going to be kind of one of those updates where you're like, oh yeah, this is a midweek update. It is definitely a midweek update plan. I do plan on adding a few more than what's strictly on the list for the update, but it's going to be pretty small. The plan is actually to go tackle one of the things that people have been complaining about for the longest time in Ghost Simulator with the private servers. That's all I'm going to say. You guys can 100% extrapolate what I'm doing from that. which is a bit of work. Roblox doesn't, like, you know, provide a lot of functionality, but it should be pretty easy to go ahead and add it. They honestly need to make auto-delete better so you can AFK overnight. No, absolutely not. I absolutely hate auto-unbox simulators. The only way I would ever add an auto-unbox to Ghost Simulator would be is if it's slower than normal unboxing. Like, it literally, like, where you're going to spend an entire night AFK, and you're going to get the same amount as if you unbox for, like, 30 minutes, an hour actively. I hate auto unbox simulators. It ruins the point of unboxing the game. It ruins pet stat progression for a lot of people. I really, at some point, I want to go and fix Ghost Sim's pet progression, because right now it's non-existent. Make it so that you actually care about unlocking new pets. You can actually grind for and get new pets. The thing is, that requires quite a bit of thinking about it, and most people that play this game aren't going to notice it, because most people that play this game are way far into the game where they're using literally the same pets. They aren't going to even notice if I make half the pets usable. Do you have communication with the devs? I am the dev. I am literally the programming developer for Ghost Simulator at the moment. So if I say something's not going to get added, it's not going to get added. We forgot to use a we forgot to use a boss gem. Oh well. No, I'm not adding more auto unbox settings. I think adding auto unbox commons was a mistake, but I can't take it away now, unfortunately. So it's going to stay as it is until I can completely gut the system and make a better system, because right now there's so many issues with the current unbox system in Ghost Simulator. Anyone who's played for longer than like 20 hours can probably list like 3 or 4 issues with the current unboxing system. I plan on fixing most of those at some point. A lot of it though does come down to the issue that gems are super easy to get, so yeah. But yeah, I do want to make gems harder to get so that grinding gems is a little bit more impactful for grinding classifieds, so there aren't people just chill like, oh yeah, I have 2.5 trillion gems. I just now need to unbox for whatever classifieds I want. Which is actually an issue. There are people with 2.5 trillion gems. But yeah, I don't know why people would want... Okay, actually I do know why people want AFK overnight. I just don't understand why so many people want it. If AFKing overnight becomes a thing, one, it's not going to be AFKing overnight, that's better. Like right now, active unboxing would just become super broken if you could auto-delete every single rarity. Because what you could do, because there would be less lag when you unbox, and there would be less of a you could literally unbox like probably around a classified every, let's say, 4 minutes. And if everything's getting auto-deleted, you could keep that up overnight, some people, because of 2.5 trillion gems. If you have auto-delete for every single rarity, there are going to be thousands of classifieds within a week that people unbox, just because of how easy it would be to unbox. It would be ridiculous. Because of the current mass unboxing. Even if I completely removed mass unboxing, people would then complain because it'd be too difficult. I think it would be a decent trade-off in terms of time, but it would ruin a lot of the point of actual unboxing with the delete stuff. But yeah. I thought max gems with 100 billion though? Yeah, max gems with 100 billion. You know how people get 2.5 trillion gems though? They get it in currency. So just because they can only have 100 billion gems at a time does not mean they can't have 500 trillion gems worth of 500 trillion worth of gems in rems or souls or ecto tokens, and then just convert every time they run out. It literally doesn't it doesn't do anything in terms. The only thing it does do is give a good limiting factor that prevents it looking like the economy is super broken with people posting pictures of 5 trillion gems at a time. Yeah, I'm not going to be making classes untradeable. I think the better option is to make them worth more. I feel like classifieds, I think everyone would be fine if classifieds were harder to get. I don't see why they should be made easier to get. If they do become harder to get, people with classifieds, they gain because their classifieds go up in value. People who don't have classifieds, I mean, it's harder for them to get classifieds, but if they do get classifieds, they're worth more. I just feel like making stuff harder to get makes stuff worth more, which makes it more worthwhile to grind for them, because less people would grind for them. Okay, we're going to use a boss gum. How do you get permanent magnet and the teleport button on the bottom? I just returned to get. Permanent magnet you get from Jack's quest, which is in Remnant Zone, the last area. Same thing, and then the remote teleporter you get from Blue Money's quest, which is also in Remnant Zone, which is in the first area, but you have to get up to antenna level 30 before you can talk to the NPC. But yeah. I think that's called inflation. It's actually called deflation. It's actually the opposite, and you know, I think the economy could survive a little bit of deflation. I don't actually trade, so maybe not. But yeah, once we I think once we do the next boss, I do kind of want to go sell all of our currency and get some souls just to see where we're at. All right, bye York. Bye Lamoose. I probably I really should not just randomly pronounce names. I should ask how they're pronounced. Yeah, rich will stay rich, poor will stay poor. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should also delete people's classifieds. Give everyone a good thing. No. Also, the plan, I've said this before, is to kind of democratize the gem grinding, so it's a little less overpowered at end game and a little bit better early game. Not like super overpowered. I still don't want people getting all the classifieds right off the bat, but so that like there is actually a little bit more path to getting a classified than there is right now. But yeah, poverty gap is insane. Yes, the poverty gap is insane, and if I try to take away the rich, they will riot. So there's sort of this balancing mechanism that I have to. Why punish someone who has spent 1,000 hours getting 100 rebirths? So that they don't ruin the economy. So that they can actually grind for stuff and feel like they're achieving stuff. So that they don't completely demotivate everyone else from grinding. You're kidding me. It's at 67%. Just give me the cycle, stupid game. But yeah, this shield will immediately regenerate the second we take it down because it is at 67%. And it's still at this blue arrows. Hopefully. So yeah, shield immediately back up. But they put in all that effort just for things to be nerfed. Yeah, I mean, so they still have the advantage of spending that time. It's not like the rebirths are just gone. And they are still going to have an advantage over the people who don't have that. It's just, it's less of an advantage that makes it more meaningful for everyone. But yeah. Ouch. All right, that was on me. We're actually doing fine on this fight. All right, this will be 5 keys. We'll probably go ahead and spend our 5 keys. I mean, yeah, but imagine, they've already had, like, okay, why are we taking, like, double damage right now? The laser's not supposed to do that much damage. Alright, we're gonna get hit by this. I think we're, what? Oh, never mind, the laser's still going on. This is when you get errors. We're about to get like a bajillion errors, I think. No? Okay. That's a surprise. But yeah, these are the errors you get. It's not great. Lag is... It should probably be fixed, but whatever. Alright. We do have 3 keys. Hopefully we just get the godly now so I don't have to go grind more, but we probably won't. It makes it harder for the new people. Yeah, that's the entire point. It's harder for everyone, so I don't see why the old people would complain. They had that 1,000 hours of grinding where it was easy. So now that it's hard, they are definitely benefiting from having the time before to grind. Yeah, no, we didn't get it. Oh, whatever. Yeah, lag is an issue. It's... I mean, at this point, I only have myself to blame. No, I don't have myself to blame. It's... I'll continue to blame the people before me. I don't want to spend the 5, 10, 20 hours figuring out mega bosses to fix this because probably wouldn't even do anything. But yeah. Yeah, I mean... I just feel like complaining that stuff is getting harder is just... I don't know, it feels like a stupid complaint because, like, it's not just... Yeah, that's the entire point of the making it harder, is so that it's harder. So complaining that it's harder is kind of like, oh yeah, water is wet, sort of deal. Like... Alright, now we're on to the second stage. We've managed to not completely get owned by the... getting back up right before the stage switches. Yeah, the thing is, like, all these changes aren't even planned yet, so I probably shouldn't even be talking about them. Whoa, can you chill with that, Guardian? Okay, you were doing just fine like a couple seconds ago. Why all of a sudden am I lagging so much on this last cycle of this fight? This is stupid. Okay, we're just gonna go sell. I'm done with Great Guardian. It's being stupid right now. All right, sell with X Gum, 150. I think that's actually enough to go buy. So that actually probably isn't enough to go buy anything. Yeah, airplane's at 1,000,000. Okay, so we had about 6.2, 5 times that. Yeah, actually, let's go grind for airplane really quick. I think, I mean, by really quick, I mean, it'll take us probably around an hour. But it should still be a pretty good goal to go ahead and get to. Let's go to board shop. This should be where... No, okay, Scrim's gone. Alright, we'll grab Grim, then we'll start grinding ghosts in the castle area. So let's go swap to Haunted Castle. There we go. We crashed again. This one isn't even lagged. This is just Roblox servers. I am 95% sure are just not connectioning or whatever. This one isn't a Roblox. This one isn't a Ghost Simulator shooter. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, Ghost Sim pay to play. Actually, the funny thing about that, I don't know if this was public info. Actually, I think it was. I remember sharing about it. When Sentinel was originally planned to be released into alpha, they were planning on doing a closed alpha where it was still open to the public, but you had people to access had to pay Robux for it. But they decided against that for some reason. I don't know exactly why. But they decided to make it an open alpha so that anyone could access it without paying Robux, which I think was the correct decision. But it definitely wasn't interesting that they were originally planning on making the game pay to play for no, it's not my internet. Streams ongoing is fine. This is a Roblox server issue that has been, because, you know, my computer's running fine. My well, okay, I say that, yeah, the webcam's going at like 2 FPS, everything's overheating, but the stream's still streaming, so it's Roblox's side on this one, not my side, so yeah. And no, we just sit here until we disconnect because I don't feel like unconnecting to reconnect. I just feel like complaining. But yeah, I think once we reconnect, we're going to continue grinding Ghost in Ghost World. It isn't going to be too hard for us to go grind for a yeah. No, my internet's fine. You're the internet problem. There's two sides to this ping issue, Roblox. And one of them is perfectly fine in streaming at the moment. Alright, back to Ghost World. Alright, we'll grab this boss, and then we'll continue to grind ghosts in the haunted castle. Yeah, because we only really need to fill up this 30 billion pack twice, I think, for it. Should be a pretty simple path to getting the airplane. And every little pet or board that we get in our journal will help a small bit. Okay. Alright, no Grim there. There's a Grim. Alright, 90%. We'll go grab Gross in here. Actually, I kind of wonder. I'm curious now. Because I know someone said something about actually going for 100% on this count. I've kind of been dismissing that because of stuff, but like I do kind of want to go see how long it does take to get a rebirth as a free-to-play. Like ditch the hard mode rules with every single NPC or whatever once we decide to actually stop. But like swap over to like doing just speedrunning a few rebirths, see if it takes, see how long it takes. Because I'm imagining it takes some like 6 hours or something. Since I don't have like overpowered pets or whatever, I only have moderately leveled pets and I don't have like 2 times drops or anything. But yeah, I'd actually be curious to see how long it does take compared to my main account on this account to rebirth. Alright, Grim is down to like 40%, so in about a few more ghosts we do need to start heading over there. 35. 30. Alright, we'll head out over there now. 25. Alright, that's actually pretty much perfect. A little bit lower than I was expecting, but that should still give us a full pack for it. And then we can continue just grinding ghosts. But yeah, grinding ghosts is going to be the fastest way to get ectoplasm in pretty much every area. I think even in Remnant Zone, it's going to be better for you. But yeah, the reason we'd go up to 15 rebirths is to grab a few more permanent perks like the Lucky Eyes. I think we're grabbing Master Hunter first. We're going to grab Master Hunter or Speedrun rebirths. Then we're going to probably grab Lucky Eyes. And then we'd swap since we have 12 more rebirths at that point. I don't know if we'd go all into Remnant Tycoon. I think maybe we would. Maybe we'd actually go into Bit Tycoon for, no, I think we'd go into Remnant Tycoon. I think that'd be the better play. Anyways, oh, someone spawned Grim. Once that Grim, so in about a minute, that Grim will be about 50% health. It's in the far island over by the board shop, so we'll go grab it. And then once we kill it, the Jolly Roger should be spawned in the right next to Castle Courtyard, so we should be able to grab all two of those pretty quickly, back to back. Alright, let's go over to that Grim really quick. It's probably a little bit lower than 50% health now. I've been... Yeah, alright. 40%. We'll AFK here until it gets grabbed. Then we'll go grab the Jolly Roger that has spawned in the Courtyard Bridges, and then we'll go back to grinding ghosts in the Haunted Castle. Yeah, this has been, what, like 5 minutes so far? 10 minutes? Whatever. Whatever case, we will be getting, Airplane. It's actually, honestly, it's actually a lot quicker to grind some of these hoverboards than I was expecting. Like, this is probably like 30 minutes of grinding for one hoverboard. Which is quite a bit of time. Don't get me wrong. But that would imply that, like, Ghostly, we can grind for in 5 hours with, without the Game Pass, without rebirths, with free-to-play boards, no class, or free-to-play pets with no classified pets or anything like that, which is fairly. All right, I thought this would be oh, it's on the other bridge. But yeah, which is a fairly decent thing. Honestly, could probably be quite a bit harder and people would still complain. But yeah, so I could devote an entire stream almost to grinding Ghostly, I guess. If I wanted to. I think King of the Board would be the... King of the Board is probably going to be one of the ones that we need to go to at some time soon. It's, I really do need to do some off-stream Remnant grinding, because I do have a lot of stuff I need to buy in Remnant Zone. Specifically a lot of the packs and backs. I don't think I'd be going for every single pack and back in that, just because they are expensive. I think the next one that I'm buying is what, like 196, I think it was, million, if I remember correctly. So quite expensive. But yeah, we should be able to get. I know you guys probably not too many of you were here at the beginning of the stream. We got up to 800 million gems from. That was 2 collections of all the chests in Remnant Zone. So if I just log in like 3 days over the next week. I should be able to go ahead and grab enough gems for getting the Hoshi Blade, which is another unlockable ward that's actually fairly good. It's probably a little bit too easy to get gems, but it is a fairly good billion gems from logging in 3 days. Probably a bit easy, but yeah. AFKing using overcharge is not allowed. If you're talking about just like AFKing as in like sitting there AFK and then using overcharge like while watching YouTube stuff, that's fine. But like purely AFK if you're using like an auto clicker, that is not allowed. But I assume you're talking about the first one, where you just kind of sit there while watching YouTube using XGum every once in a while, every minute or whatever. Which yeah, that would be allowed. I just need to make sure that people understand that it's not full AFK. It's a mostly AFK. Like you're actually at your computer, but you aren't actually playing for 95% of the time. Yeah, okay. Your background also runs out? Yeah. In that case, yeah, it's... The thing is, with me grinding, I do prefer to do it actively, because, on this account, you do get more out of actively grinding than passively grinding per time. It's just, like, you don't have to think as much. And with this account, like, gems and whatever, or gums, are not that easy to come by. There's a Grim somewhere. That would be at the converter. No, that'd be at spawn. Oh, it's dead already. Okay. The thing is, we still also need to grab a, a lot of the mini-bosses from, like, all the, boss chests and stuff, so, that could be something I do at some point, is just grind, like, main hub bosses for a long time. I know I've done that before for, like, Gramps quest, which is kind of actually kind of obnoxious that I didn't get any, but, looking back at it, like, at the time it was fine because I couldn't use them, but now it's like when I could actually use those for game completion, it's kind of strange that I didn't get any. All right, Grim. Someone spawned it again, so like 75%. Alright, let's go grab that Grim really quick. Has it been long enough for a Jolly Roger to spawn? No. No, it'll be a little bit longer before Jolly Roger spawns. He'll be spawning on this bridge unless that spawn got deleted. I can't remember if it has. So we don't need you anymore. Yeah, I don't need Lucky Hat. I'm not grinding Lucky Hat at this moment. I am grinding Ectoplasm to get Airplane. Anyways, I would say this is getting boring, but we've only been here for like 5 minutes, so it's actually, or maybe not. We've been here for like 10 minutes, so it's not actually that boring yet. Okay, so right now we have a Grim. We're probably having a Dutchman that's either already spawned or is about to spawn in the next few minutes. So we'll probably grab both those at some point soon here. For right now, I want to grab a few more ghosts. Let's toggle this back to the board shop. Also, I can tell you right now that just by adding the hotkey for C or whatever, I'm using this remote teleporter quite a bit more than I was before, because before it was super hard to like just go ahead and press a button, but also having the options down there was a good idea. For everyone that suggests that, I know multiple people did. It actually works pretty well. It did require a little bit of organization. For instance, actually, there you go. There's a little bit of logic there that a little bit broken, but that will adjust the size of stuff for how much room you actually have on your screen. But yeah. Yes. No, I'm actually keeping track of some of these bosses sometimes in my head. Not all of them. But most of the time I am trying to keep track of where bosses are at. There should be a Dutchman spawned up on the actual Castle Courtyard Island, unless that spawn is busted. So we'll go check up there next. Yeah, okay, he's not here, so he should be over there. Like, this is delay. It's, yeah, I mean, Roblox has, like, you have to have a stream delay of some kind. It does get a little bit worse when there is some lag. So I think when I turned off and turned back on my internet a while ago on stream, that probably added like a solid 30 seconds to a minute of lag or whatever. I don't think delay's too bad right now. Generally I do run on low latency, which means that it should be a lower delay. If I run on normal latency, that's around a minute. Low latency should be around like 10 seconds, I believe. But it extends every time I need a buffer stuff, so it's It's probably up to like 30 seconds right now. I could run on ultra low latency, but then that runs into some issues with quality, I think, because you have to sacrifice something to get it faster. Streaming, which my computer, I would rather not sacrifice too much stuff for my computer to get just a little bit better viewing experience. It's better for it to just be normal. That being said, we have about half of a pack now, so we need to do this about 3 more times. I think this was about 15 minutes, so about an hour, 45 minutes left, so about 1 o'clock we'll be able to go ahead and get an airplane. Which of all the things to grind for an hour for a board is quite a bit of time, but it's not the worst. We'll be grinding for longer if I do decide to go for the pet and board godlies from the 5 key chest. Bye. Okay, one of the things I should probably do is unequip the Boscum, because having that sitting there was just waiting for me to accidentally use it. Okay, technically speaking, now we can just kind of 40, 5. I didn't actually get there on time. That is so devastating because it's right there. Okay, whatever. That's my fault for being greedy. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I should probably think about selling now just in case we crash again. Because Roblox has not been the nicest. Let me go check our glitchy or enchanted XCOM supplies. I'd like to save those. At 20, we'll sell. funny thing is, it doesn't even matter if these ghosts are on 1 health because I'm getting the full health of the ghost instantly vacuum. So, yeah. All you guys are getting is some random drops. All right, we should go grab Grim really quick. It's probably at like 30% right now. Perfect. A little less than 30%. I'm not the greatest at keeping track of the ghost health percent, but we're making sure we're grabbing most of them at least. Oh, nice! Happy birthday. Yeah, welcome to the stream. This stream is actually going to go a little bit longer than generally they do. Generally, I end them at about 20 minutes, but this one will probably go quite a bit longer, just due to me starting it a little bit later. So probably going to be grinding up until we get this airplane, and then calling it a day after that. Overall, we've finished up all of our quests. We have gotten up to 95% game completion, which, you know, 1% today. At this rate, we'll be done within a week, if I played every day. But it will actually start to slow down quite a bit, even more than this. Like, we don't have any more rare stuff to unlock anymore. We are literally, we have like 6 more stuff that we can unlock reasonably. A bit more that we could unlock unreasonably. And then grinding packs, which actually could be something I do off stream. I really should just do some off stream grinding for some packs and backs, because those could add up to like a whole 2%, I think, and would only take like 4 or 5 hours. So if I did 4 or 5 hours of off-stream grinding for remnant coins, that would be probably pretty good. Alright, there's a Dutchman here. We'll go grab it really quick. Anyways, once we're done with this boss, we'll go ahead and sell with a enchanted XM. That should give us around... actually, that should give us around 400 million souls. So we should be at around 500 million souls at that point. And then all we need to do is actually get up to like 23 or something. To get up to... getting the all right, welcome back. But yeah, that should mean that we only need to get up to about 23 billion ectoplasm then for the last little bit of souls to go ahead and get that airplane that we're grinding for. We'll go ahead and buffer Enchanted X-Gum. There we go. Alright, so really quick, this I think should give us around 400, yeah, 488. Actually we need less than what we just got, so We could make do with like 15, I think. We will go up to like 17 just to be safe, but I think we could definitely make do with quite a bit less than what we had that time, so yeah. Actually, that might leave us a little bit of time to go do some other grinding in some other worlds. One of the things that I do kind of need to do is get some more gums at some point, so maybe I'll go switch over and do some backdoor grinding for some backdoor gum, so some splitchy loot gum. The main thing I do care about is getting some X gum, honestly, since I will be doing a lot of currency grinding, so even though generally what you're grinding for is loot gum, we are using quite a bit of X gum. It's honestly, it's kind of hard to say what's going to be added like that. One of the things that it is, like, buying gifting game passes is actually kind of a, like, okay, gifting game passes would take quite a bit of programming. It'd require me to rework probably a lot of how stuff is treated in Ghost Simulator. Like, game passes would have to be swapped out. It would be a whole update. And it's something that, like, I'm not saying people won't use it. People would use it. But, like, people who play the game won't care whether if I had Game Pass gifting. Like, I wouldn't use Game Pass gifting myself. I wouldn't consider it a whole big feature. I would consider it, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. I wonder if I'll ever use that. It's not something big, and it would require quite a bit of work. It's like one of those things where it's probably would be the same amount of work for me to add a boss to the game, like a whole new mini mega boss system, or mini or normal boss to the game, as it would be to add a Game Pass gifting. And one of those features can be hyped up and put in YouTube videos really easily, and one of those can be like, oh yay, I can spend more on the game for my friends if I wanted to, which, yeah, is less less ideal. Yeah, it's not a priority, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on if you care about good stuff. Let's go grab Grim. Yeah, no, new area in Ghost World, that would actually be somewhat interesting. I do know Ghost World itself is kind of small. The only issue with that is, like, it might break some of the, like, vacuum pack, balancing in the world. Overall, though, I do plan on, at some point in the near future, rebalancing Ghost World, how it works, because it is horrible to go through as a new player. But yeah, it's definitely a cool place, could use a new thing. I know at one point I was talking about a suggestion for a rebirth perk. This was before I became a dev, so I don't know if it will be added. I'm not saying this as something I plan to add as a developer. I'm not planning on adding this as a developer because mainly, it's not stuff I'm in charge of. It would pretty much entirely revolve around Dark Thunder doing work for it, so I'm not going to sit back and suggest it. But, like, adding new bonus biomes through a rebirth perk to, like, every single area, like, main hub, right now you have 3 bonus biomes. Adding a 4th one that's unlocked with, like, the items from those bonus biomes, that is, like, higher health ghosts, higher gem drops, maybe a new gem chest, just something cool like that to, like, every single area or whatever. Ghost World gets one, I don't know. Just a lot of Like, Backdoor gets one, Remnant Zone gets one, new bonus biomes everywhere. Everyone gets a new bonus biome. I don't think it's a great idea in terms of, like, amount of work to, how much it would help, especially with, like, balancing ghost health and all that fun stuff. But it would be, I think it would be kind of cool. It would be definitely fit a rebirth perk. I think people would like it. For at least the first, like, 5 minutes until you get bored and go back to grinding in Remnant Zone. But yeah, a lot of it right now, we're finishing up second arc with the game right now. And then after that, no one really knows what's going to happen to the game. Least of all me. I mean, you guys can probably have better guesses at what happens after second arc than I do. Yeah, this stream's going to continue a little bit later than usual, so we're probably going to start seeing a few random new people near the end of it, just because it is a different time zone than friendly than usual by like 30 minutes, but you know, we ignore that one. Honestly, private servers is one of those things that private servers don't actually earn Ghost Simulator that much money. I think I can say that without it being considered revealing any of the financial state of Ghost Simulator. But yeah, private servers, I have one that's for free that's pinned in the Bloxbyte Ghost Sim discussion. If you want one, someone can share the link for mine. Make sure it's still valid. I know I changed at one point, so I don't think the one in my Discord is valid. Much to probably people's dismay that I've been trying it. So go copy the one that's pinned in the main Bloxbyte source, but you can leech off other people's private servers really easily because you do join a different world after you go from main hub. So literally infinite people could use one private server. And because of how cheap private servers are, I have no problems providing a free private server to everyone who doesn't have one, because it's literally better to have people playing than to have people paying for private servers, in my opinion. I feel like numbers could use a lot more. I'm not going to make private servers free. I feel like there is a little bit to be said for having them cost money, so it does feel a little bit more special to play in them. It isn't like everyone just instantly buys a private server. But like 10 Robux is pretty cheap if you are able to buy any Robux. That's what, 10 cents a month? I mean, it is money every month, but it's not that expensive to go ahead and get your own private server. And then obviously if you're able to join from links or whatever, you can just leech off of other people, which generally is fine in the community. Same thing with like Sentinel. Even though Sentinel servers are like 100 Robux, people are generally fine with leeching off of other people's private servers and having their own servers leeched off of. But yeah, you can also friend random people. Eventually someone will have a private server, or they'll invite you manually to it if you ask, if in case you can't join through links. Yeah, it's not that hard to get invited to a private server. Yeah, no, it's definitely right when it launched. It was definitely a really, back in the day, Similars were super low quality games, but it definitely had a very high quality for a simulator. A lot of people played right when it launched just because of how much hype it really generated, especially with like from Mirror Mystery 2, it generated because of JD. A lot of other places had hype, but yeah, it kind of just you see a lot of people who play it either during when it first released or during the Metaverse or Akon or whatever, and they come back to it after a while, and they like it's a pretty good game. It has its issues. I know one of the big ones that I will say it's kind of bad is the lag issue with like mega bosses on lower end devices. That is definitely an issue. It definitely has some progression issues. Not as much as other simulators. You have other simulators. Within 3 like weeks of them being uploaded, all of a sudden, like literally half of their progression is completely broken. In Ghost Simulator, you still have some progression for a lot of the stuff. It's not as bad as other simulators. It's still pretty bad, but especially now it's been worked on quite a bit more. And so, like main hub, people can progress through main hub now. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, use the code pets. It's like, maybe I just haven't been playing as much since I became a dev. But have you guys been noticing as many beggars in main hub? I feel like the amount of beggars in main hub has like decreased a bit. Maybe that's just my bias. But I do feel like it's become easier for new players, and new players have found it easier to progress with pet stats. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys are getting begged just as much, but that was something I did try to fix at one point. So it's probably confirmation bias or something like that. But yeah, we're gonna go grab Grim really quick. I believe he's up here. Then we'll go grab that Dutchman that I saw. Yeah, at the start I think it peaked over 100,000. I think there's a picture of it, like 117,000 players, like number 1 on the charts for that day. It was insane right at the start. I didn't even join until like 5-6 updates in is the funny thing. Yes, the quests are actually cool. The lore behind it is pretty cool. It definitely feels a lot more unique to play through some of the areas. Like it isn't just, go, like Pet Simulator, for example. It is literally, the progression of it is mine bricks upgrade area, unlock pet. For Ghost Simulator, there's a little bit more to it with the quest system. Not a whole lot. It is still a simulator at the core of it, but the quests do provide a lot more of the interesting progression for players. Which is sometimes good. It is sometimes quite bad when it gets like you have to do the same quest 20 times for rebirths. But yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you can definitely say that. I definitely think in some terms, yeah, if you join right when the game first came out, yeah, you're definitely more OG than me. You definitely, if you played the Atlantis, or not the Atlantis, the Space or Dino event, you played it before I played. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny to say it like that. Oh, I've been playing longer than a developer has. Which is, I mean, that's one of the things that, like, developers generally don't play their games. So you generally can say that about any game. Like, even previous developers on Ghost Simulator, I don't know, I don't think they got more than, like, 1 rebirth legitimately ever. So, yeah. I think I definitely take the cake for the most amount of rebirths for any Roblox, for any Ghost Sim developer, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. It either means I have way too much free time, which or I'm actually devoted to the game. One of those is good, and one of those is a little less telling. But yeah, no, I do plan on playing though for as long as I'm a developer. I'm not doing too well on that. I'm at least playing on this account every week, but like on my main account, I am so behind. I promised a Rift Gum video, like going over whether or not Rift Gum is now useful. Like last update. I still haven't made that. I still haven't even like logged in and thought about making it. Hopefully that comes sooner rather than later, but you know, who knows. What's my ultimate plans for the game? Ultimate plans, I would love for it to get into a state where people would actually play it without updates. Right now, a lot of people play it because it does get those 2 weeks every update. Or every 2 weeks there's an update. But I'd love to get it to a state. Not that I'm going to stop updating it. The plan is to keep the 2-week updates. But to get it to a point where people can play through it regularly, it'll feel fresh for anyone joining the game. Because right now, like, it feels like you have to catch up with rebirths to actually have fun in the game. But like changing the progression so that new players can actually get into it, making it so that there's always stuff to grind for, making it so all the features are actually useful in the game. Like Incinerator is one of the ones that's actually on the schedule at this point. I scheduled an update and have a plan to go fix the Incinerator so it's actually useful. Fix Scum so it isn't as broken. All this stuff so that it actually feels worthwhile to grind, in that you can do stuff off updates. I don't know, that's sort of my feel, my plan. All that will require balancing, nerfs, buffs, reworks, massive time involvement. But yeah, also adding new stuff, obviously. There's a whole lot of new content that's kind of required or can fit into cool places that will be coming at some point. So yeah. But yeah, I would love it because one of the things with simulators is they kind of die off. Because of the lack of attention to the early game. Like, Pet Simulator 99, for instance, is doing really well. Obviously, since it is a huge game, but I don't know what the new player experience for that is anymore. I do know a lot of people, like... Okay, the only experience I have with it is people talking that are, like, absolute endgame. I've kind of fallen off from that, mostly because I'm developing Ghost Sim and don't have time. But, like, I'm trying to looking at the game, and, I don't know how well a new player would get into the game. Like, when the game first released, it was fun to play through. Rebirths were cool. But now if you go through a game, I don't know if it's one of those things where, like, if you do a rebirth or whatever, or it just takes forever to get back up to any progression point in that game. I don't know if that's the case. But it feels like that might be the case where new players aren't able to get into the game anymore. And I feel like a good game still makes it so that new players can get into it. Continuously. Grim should be over here, I think. Yep. It's like, yeah, 15%. Cool. But yeah, I don't want to see that with Ghost Simulator. Obviously, you know, those are my intentions. The reality might change a lot, but that's the goal. Also increase player numbers, obviously make the game worth more money so I get more money. Obviously, I was a little bit more selfish. But yeah, no, getting it more popular I think is my first priority, which involves making it so new players can get into it, but also adding new features that people can have fun grinding, balancing some of the features so that there are stuff for people to do regularly. It doesn't feel like a chore to go grind for like 1 or 2 things or whatever, but yeah. Make it more balanced for free to play. I don't know if I said this before, but Ghost Simulator, it doesn't actually suffer too much from like not being very pay to win. It gets a pretty constant amount of people. It's pretty good on like people paying stuff for it. It really suffers on how many people play the game. It's a well-made game, and so the people who do play it will spend money on it, or maybe not will, but enjoy spending money on it. There's stuff to buy. But like getting new players into the game is such a pain because one, pay to win is like almost too good in some respects. Like 2 times items, 2 times boss drops just feel super bad to play without. But yeah, also it's super bad for new player experience, which is one of the things I know I've said I'll work on. Is there a Dutchman spawn yet? I don't think so. I think at this point we should be able to go ahead and sell pretty soon. I do want to get up to like just a little bit higher. I think 16 billion and we sell. Just to be like 100% sure we get there. But yeah. Alright, there we go. We'll go ahead, use an enchanted X-Gum, and then sell. This should give us just enough to go ahead and go buy airplane. Perfect. There we go. Now let's go ahead and equip this. I don't know if... I really do need to clean up this inventory. There's so much stuff unlocked in here. But yeah, airplane's a pretty cool looking pet, or board. It's not a pet. It's a pretty clean one. I mean, not something that I would be super proud of. It's obviously still pretty easy to get once you get better pets than this. But yeah, that's airplane. That does add one more pet to our unlockables, which is pretty good. Doesn't actually count for our game completion percent yet because it is kind of on the smaller side. But yeah, I think now that we have that, I want to go over to Backdoor and grind just either a little bit of gum or maybe a few bosses or something like that. Just to get a little bit of head start on the next stream, because I think gum is going to be one of the important things for our next goals in the game. Having good supply of something like glitchy X gum, good supply of glitchy loot gum, all that fun stuff that we kind of need. Also, you guys have no idea how much I like this system for just disabling perks. I am very much a fan of how it turned out. There are a few issues with it, but most of those got fixed in the last update. And I'm just making use of this X-Gum really quick because kind of need to. Alright, there we go. We'll go charge really quick. Alright, now, yeah, it'd take quite a while for us to get Bitbox. I think. Yeah, one of the things that Bitbox is going to be quite a bit harder to get than the airplane was, even though it's actually pretty similar cost, is going to be because of the fact that we have to use a X-Gum like every 2 minutes instead of being able to just grind a lot of ghosts and then sell with X-Gum. But yeah, I think for now we're just going to go ahead and equip a glitchy loot gum and then grind with that for a while. Yeah, okay, we have quite a bit of this, so that should be pretty good. But yeah, we're probably going to start wrapping up this stream a little bit. That was loud. Hello. I don't know. We'll probably go until like the hour's about 18 more minutes, 15 more minutes. Which is probably going to be just like all of our loot gum or whatever. But yeah, that'll probably be the plan. Meow. Cat's meowing at me. Sorry, I'm meowing back at my cat. But yeah, this should give us a bit more, for anyone wondering where my cat was. Now you know. Yeah, grinding's a little bit slower because of lag. This is why I kind of like to do grinding off stream, which I haven't really done. Because it's a lot less laggy to do off stream grinding than it is to do it on stream. But yeah. I think we'll go ahead and use all of our glitchy loot gum. Since we have 7, that'll take us around 14 minutes to go ahead and do. And then we'll go ahead and, once we have used all of it, convert really quick and see what we get. I think we're going to get probably somewhere around like 10 to 12 glitchy loot gum back, and then 7, 8 X gum. Ah, I have competition now. That's... yeah, that's, if we're going to have competition, we just leave. There's, like, with this lag, there's literally no reason for me to grind if I'm getting competition, for ghosts or whatever. Alright, yeah, this stream has... Cat has definitely interrupted the stream. Anyways, I think, move, Cat. I think I'm just going to call that here for the stream. All I'd really be doing is grinding gum, which, you know, just rewatch the last 4 minutes, a few thousand times. and you'll get a pretty good understanding of what that would look like. We are going to get actually 26 gums. I think this is like 4 or 5 or whatever. Okay, 2 glitchy, 1 glitchy lucky gum. Got our loot gum back. We did get a few X gum. I think that was like 1. Yeah. But anyways, I think that'll be it for today. We have a perfect 1,000 mystery gum. Which, if you guys don't know, we'll now give you a random, speed boost. So our hoverboard is super fast, but our movement speed right now is, bad. Yeah, this is actually kind of funny. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will, probably be doing a, I'll hopefully be doing a, Rift Gun video in the next few weeks. I am not going to be here on this weekend, but that shouldn't matter. I should be... Actually, I might not. No, I should be here by Monday, home Monday. I might sleep in a little bit more next Monday because I'm going to be gone over the weekend. We'll see how tired I am. So it might be a little bit of a later stream that day too. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll see you guys this week for a Rift Gun video, as I said, but definitely by next week. Bye.